What's going on, everybody? Rob A here, and today we're taking a look at Transformers, Titans Return, Convex, and Perceptor. This is, of course, one of the more recent deluxe waves from Transformers, Titans Return. And as you can see, it's a very nice version of Perceptor. Looking pretty cool. He does turn into a... I keep wanting to say telescope. It's a microscope. My apologies. But, you know, that's fairly obvious. He's got what looks like... Well, honestly, it's a pretty standard Titans Return gun, but it actually has a very tiny bipod on the end here, which I guess is probably, you know, to reference his comic book counterpart where he's like this super sharpshooting sniper. But yeah, otherwise, really, really cool. He does have his little... scope there. Very nice. On the back we can see he does have Convex, the Titan Master. Hopefully will be painted in some form and is not just this black mass with little red feet, because that will be very sad. But other than that, Perceptor looks pretty cool. He does, you know, again, turn into the microscope, which, you know, may or may not really fly with kids in this generation. But anyway, he does have a little blurb up here, and I'll read that to you. With the Decepticons rising, the Autobots power up with the Titan Master partners to stop them. Convex gives Perceptor the ability to shrink to microscopic size. Okay. He can repair or sabotage systems on a micro level. He just has to do it before he returns to full size. Oh, very neat. So I guess kind of like a little Ant-Man sort of power there. And on the back, just show co-sales with other figures here. Broadside, I've already done a video on Sky Shadow. I don't know if I'm going to pick up. I have seen him around, but you know, my budget is very limited these days, and I didn't see Sergeant Cup there, which is a bummer. I did want to pick him up, but yeah, there is Perceptor. So let me get him out of the package, and we're going to check him out right now. Okay, guys, so here we have Convex and Perceptor all ready to go, and first thing I want to do is show you the collector card here. As always, very nice image. We got the rifle, got the Headmaster situation, or I'm sorry, Titan Master popping off there. And then on the back you can see the different power levels that we get. Convex ramps up his intelligence quite a bit, and speed, of course. The other stats remain fairly, you know, mostly the same. Whatever. So yeah, you get that collector card. It's pretty cool. Here is the microscope. I did it again. Full disclosure, it has been a couple of days since I did the preliminary, you know, the packaging review, simply because I could not get this dude's Titan Master off of his shoulders. Like, I couldn't detach it. I would pull it and the ball joint would just pop right out. And I didn't want to, like, you know, force it. I didn't want to damage any of the ball joints or anything like that. So I just kind of give it a little time, and now it seems to be okie dokie. So, as you can see, here's the microscope mode. We've got all kinds of really nice prints and paint work on the side. You got a little bit of green in there. Some cool stuff. He's looking at his own face, which is a little bit weird, but you can pop this right off. And it says you can also, you know, stretch the Titan Master out and just lay him on that as well. You know, so you can like fix them or whatever. So that's pretty cool. You can store the weapon on the back if you so desire. I just did that to kind of get it out of the way. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty neat. You can also do this, which is really neat. And actually, it might be helpful to kind of look at that. All right, let's look at this thing in the vacuum. So yeah, you can see the magnification does sort of work. It is a little upside down there, just because the thing, but you can kind of get the impression that it is magnifying things a little bit, and you can actually turn this dial and extends the microscope. That's really, really neat. I do like that they added that little functionality to it. You can also transform this guy into his sort of kind of fan mode, tank mode thing, and you do that by unpegging the leg bits here, like so. We're going to come around, spin these, and then we want to just attach these kind of at an angle like this. So we're going to attach them at an angle, just like that. Just like that. We want to flip out the treads here. And this is interesting that they added this mode. They really didn't have to. There's a lot of extra parts on this guy that just didn't have to be there. So you just, bring those out, and that will bring out these little wheels here, these clear wheels, and there's another clear wheel right here. And then this can, I don't know exactly how this is supposed to go. This is not in the instructions. I just, kind of worked it out a little bit here. So this becomes kind of a seat of sorts. So you got this kind of like this. I'm assuming this piece extends down this way for this mode because it does move and there's no other real reason for it to do so. So maybe you could fit a larger figure there. But it looks like you can also kind of sort of fit your guy here, but it doesn't quite work that way, or maybe he goes like this. I'm not fully sure of exactly how this goes. Maybe you guys know in the comments. But then you can just kind of bring this thing around, and I think it just pegs on thusly, and then you've got this kind of wheeled sort of cannon. Not quite a tank, but you kind of get the idea. So you do have that. This little flap, I think, is meant to be a seat, and I could be wrong. So it may be they're just supposed to sit this guy kind of like this, or some such, or whatever. But this piece does move. It's on a hinge. It's painted on both sides, but it doesn't show this anywhere in the instructions. So I'm just kind of, flying by the seat of my pants here. So, yeah, what are you going to do? All right, but to transform this guy into his robot mode, we're going to flip this down all the way. We're going to flip this back up. We're going to flip the chest piece up and peg it on thusly. We're going to bring the leggy legs down here. Bring forward and then down, then forward and then down. Fold these tread bits back up into the back of the legs. Bring the feet out like so. I'm going to bring the arms out, and they are on little rotating arms here. And this whole section just comes down, and this bit can swirl around, and you actually want to kind of leave this peg out, put this guy right in there, and then we're going to move this over to the side, and that becomes his shoulder cannon. And then the shoulders go up just like that. They don't really lock into place so much, the shoulders, but they work well enough. And then flip out the arms, or the hands rather, and they will click into place. And then you can just fold this forward, and you've got Perceptor's body. And now let's take a look at Convex here, and he is unpainted, which is a huge bummer, because it looks not very great in just solid black like this, to be honest. I understand they want to save some money, but dang, yo. But on the back is a perfectly serviceable Perceptor head, and we can just fold this over, just like so. And it's a little bit weird. There is a gap actually there, which is kind of strange. I don't know what that's about, but then you can go ahead and pop Perceptor's head right on his body. And there we have Perceptor fully loaded and ready to go. And we've got his little bipod thing there, so you can hold that in his hand. And kind of, sort of, he can't really get down on the ground with this at all. But you can prop it up on something and definitely fire that off. There's a little seat up here for a Titan Master, should you so desire. And he does have other 5mm points on his body, so you can plug that in should you desire. You could also pop it on top of his existing scope here. So you do have some options with this figure. And he is very nicely posable. You've got the cannon on his back, which can, you know, slide side to side, so you can get some nice angles on that. You can raise it and lower it. If you wanted to, you could plug it in down here, so you could raise it up like so and have it kind of like that. If you want a little bit more centered on his shoulder. He's got some nice ball jointed shoulders. He's got a elbow swivel. He's got the elbow waggle. He can move his fists in and out a little bit just due to that transformation. No waist articulation, which is a bummer, because I feel like if they hadn't added this weird split where the whole section comes down, we could have had a waist swivel pretty easily, but, you know, what are you going to do? He does have slightly ratcheting hips. There's just some detents in there you can see, and you can really feel those going as you go up. He can break his legs pretty tragically if you wanted to, and of course he's got a super duper deep knee bend, which is pretty nice actually, so he can actually kind of do some decent poses where he's maybe, you know, got his little snipes out. So you can kind of get that sort of thing going on if that's your game. But overall, yeah, really solid version of the character. I do like that they added all this extra stuff that they really didn't have to. At the same time, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like I'm not sure what it's supposed to be there for, and that's a bummer. And I really do think it's a bummer that his his Titan Master doesn't have any paint on it. That's really kind of a bummer. But overall, not the end of the world, because we do have certainly other Titan Masters that are you know, pretty well done. But overall, pretty solid figure. I'm quite pleased with him. So that is going to do it for this review, guys. I want to thank you so very much for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. It really does help me out. And of course, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll have more Transformers coming real soon, so stick around for that. In the meantime, thanks again for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.